talking about the Fast and Furious franchise.
Oh yeah, I thought you were about to say coming to the stage. You know what I'm saying? Red.
Yeah, welcome to Off the Top, where
Oh
all the hosts are getting topped right now.
damn!
I wish.
That,
No, say
that's
that
the
shit
niche.
here.
All right, no. Let's go on the whole journey of Fast and Furious and how the hell it started from the first movie with a bunch of guys stealing VCRs to them going to space.
Facts. That's really where
Yeah.
that shit started off, hitting the
Yeah.
warehouses and the moving trucks.
Yeah, I honestly, to me, there's only two Fast and Furious movies. It's the first two. You maybe throw in Tokyo Drift if you want, but the first two were grounded. They were cool. They kind of opened my eyes to the idea of import,
Yeah,
cars.
yeah.
Very cool,
Mhm.
stylistic, fun. I'm a slut for a heist movie. I really am. And that's what the first couple movies were. And then after that, they went too much as far as
Wait. I don't want to interrupt you, but Heist was top. What was that? 5 though when they stole the bank, right? The bank vault.
yeah. I
I,
like a
I
heist movie, but when it gets to the point where it's ridiculous off the top for the sake of being off the top, that's when
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, all right, that's
I think it went sideways when The Rock joined, because that's when it started being like superpower esque, like super strength, super
yeah,
smart, super
Yeah.
intelligence.
like a Marvel movie.
Yeah, like you got somebody who's not even in the situation but can replay how stuff happened just by just looking at the crime scene.
That's 4.
That's doing too much.
The
It's
fact that you know that, like,
Yeah, that wasn't the Rock yet, because that's when Letty died, and I was like, "Bitch, how you gonna kill her?"
didn't
And
she not die?
she just had fucking amnesia, and she was in fucking London or something.
See, like that shit, like that
Fucking
shit.
London. She
Like
was with Shaw brother. Remember they was
they're
doing heists
doing.
over there.
I don't remember because I stopped watching them.
Yeah,
yeah,
everything's that's in
yeah. I stopped watching that shit. It just became too much too fast. It wasn't like a gradual build up.
the
Too
Furious.
furious.
Like you legit went from drag racing, making everybody want to drive cars, having decal and stuff, and then you just turn around and be a secret agent overnight.
Yeah,
Like you got FBI and secret agents coming to street racers.
that was that was the thing. Ludacris was
He had the
literally the
biggest
guy
transformation.
organizing the races in Too
Mm-hmm.
Fast, Too Furious. Now he's hacking into government bank vaults.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like what?
And you gotta
yeah.
remember, even though too, he said I had a life before this. The life before that was a thief and a car racer. It was not a martial artist hacker.
Yeah,
Right,
You
yeah.
feel me?
with no experience of space travel.
None.
And then Vin
None.
Diesel just being that guy. He's him, apparently.
Have you
Mm-hmm.
guys ever seen the side by sides? Like so. All right, so Vin Diesel and The Rock hated each other.
Right.
They fucking did not like each other at all.
In
Vin
real
Diesel
life.
felt
Yeah,
Vin
real life.
Diesel felt like adding The Rock was like trying to take his spot as
Mm-hmm.
the leader of the franchise because honestly, Vin Diesel kind of was the leader of a lot of franchises whenever he started a new one.
Yeah.
Like they injected him into the what was that movie? Short lived, the GI Joe movies. Like if you had a failing franchise that wasn't living up to expectations,
You threw the rock in it.
throw the rock in. Yeah. And so Vin Diesel is kind of a weird guy, but they would have these shots where they would be looking at each other face to face. But the
Mhm.
way they would film it is Vin Diesel would say, "Can you have the rock standing back here so he looks smaller?" And Vin Diesel looks bigger. And
What?
then when they would cut to another side, the rock looks way bigger than Vin Diesel. But yeah, like petty shit like that. Like Vin
I
Diesel
never
didn't
knew
want to
that.
look smaller than The Rock, and it's
But
it's
he
it's
is
really
though.
funny stuff. Yeah, he is, but he didn't want to be, perceived that way to the
Right.
audience
Cause
that love Dom.
yeah, because in that fight, I promise you, he lost that fight. But plot armor made him do the little last roll with the wrench and had to hit him. Hit the ground. But yeah, I was like, come on, man, you're gonna rock to the beat the hell out of him.
Family. Yeah.
Man,
I seen a TikTok where they was talking about all his superpowers that he had in Fast 10.
yeah,
And
omnipresence,
super intelligence,
super strength.
stomping the ground, making an earthquake.
Yeah.
The streets win. He was earthbending on that one.
He had Avatar reincarnated.
Man,
That was. It reminded me of that shit like when you would play with like your cousins or like little neighborhood kids, and you're like,
Mhm.
"Oh, I can control lightning," and you just make up a bunch of powers for yourself.
yeah.
You always had that one kid that gave himself like 30, and you're like, "I don't want to play this shit anymore."
Yeah. That's
Yeah,
right.
So is it even? What is it now? Since you've been watching all of them, what is it now? Is it drag racing or is it just special agent type stuff like 007, Mission
It's
Impossible
kind of
shit?
like the Expendables, Mission Impossible with cars.
Mm.
A lot of action, a lot of heist, every single one. But it got cars as his base. Like, you know, his brother was in what's his name? John Cena came into it as Don Brother. And he had a
They look-
5.0.
They look nothing alike.
Nothing alike, you know what I'm saying? Different mom type shit. But because if you look at
different nationality type shit.
it, the dad was Mexican or some Latin descent, which can kind of go both ways. I done seen an almost white Latin person and a black Latin person, so I see how they really spent it like that. But yeah, they almost like Latino. You know, that's why they keep going back to Brazil. That's where their little roots say. I think that's why they keep going back there. But that's really where they hide out from America though. But it's really big old heist. The John Cena hated his brother because he was hugging other people. If you watch Nine, he hugged Han like because he missed him because he was gone for so long. Remember? They hugged, and that's really what made him go even more crazier. Like, I'm gonna kill all your people now because the love you gave them, you supposed to be giving to me. It's like a heartbroken brother, you know.
Because they hug.
Yeah, literally, he was watching through a little vent like this, and he was like, "Oh, angry." And then they hugged, and he was like, "Go kill him! Go kill him!" I'm like, "Damn!" And he had his people try to go kill him. But at the end of the movie, with Nine, now
did they
bro,
hug in the end?
No, they never hugged. They just said, once my best friend or a good driver gave me a car to start over, and he's my family. So I'll give this back to you.
Oh my god!
Literally. So I'll give this to you. And literally in part nine is literally, "Hey, Uncle Cena, how you been? Uncle, yay!" And it's like, what? It went that quick? Everybody love everybody. Everybody hugging them. How you been?
That's lazy writing, dog. Oh
Like
my
a time
god!
jump?
It really went from 9 to 10, right? 10, I don't even know how much time is in between, and it doesn't feel like that much at all. You feel me? We're gonna be honest. It feels like it probably was less than a year. You know what I'm saying? Probably less than 6 months. But it's instantly everybody love the man that just tried to kill him.
Do you think, hypothetically,
Yes.
do you think maybe the franchise would have been, as a whole, perceived better if they had just ended when the actor that plays, what's his name?
Paul Walker? Don't
Yeah,
disrespect
when
my
Paul Walker had died, do you think it would have been better to just that last movie where him and Dom drive apart and family? You know, like, don't you think that would have been like, oh, okay,
emotionally.
I thought that was the end.
everybody lived happily ever after. They're still
Yeah.
driving in heaven. Don't you think that would have been the better send off instead of?
And they could have just had spinoffs.
Yeah, just about individual characters,
But
not even
they was
about.
trying to do spinoffs, but The Rock messed it up. The Rock.
Yeah, I heard there was a Tyrese, him beef too.
Yeah, okay, so
Yeah, they love
Tyrese
each
and it was
other.
beefing because The Rock said, "I don't care what the lineup is, they want me to do the spinoff now." And he was like, "But if you agree to it, I can't get paid." You feel me? You really taking money out of my pockets.
I forgot Hobbs and Shaw. That was the spinoff.
Yeah, Hobbs and
wasn't
Shaw.
it?
Yeah. So he was like, basically, fuck it. I'm gonna go ahead with it. And he was like, "Well, I can't feed my family. I've been crying on line to get all this attention, and you gonna, you know."
Oh my God. Is that what he was crying for?
No, that's not what that was for.
I was gonna say, damn.
Everybody cracked everything off.
I was gonna say, damn, that shit makes sense now.
Oh my goodness.
Oh shit.
Oh man, I was gonna say, damn, that shit.
No,
Because
no,
I
no,
never
no.
paid attention to drama, so I would be like, oh, that's what he was crying for. I know it was
No.
like his. I know it was his baby mama and shit. I know that was part of it too.
Yeah, that was.
Yeah, I was like, damn, he's just stressed out here. He just stressed out here. He's going through his shit.
Man, that
He,
man stay crying, bro. Stay crying.
he already bald head, but if he had hair to lose, he would have lost it that time. God damn.
So fault.
Oh shit.
Bro, that was hilarious.
Oh my
man.
goodness.
Yeah, you a funny motherfucker, bro.
So Tyrese doing that is, or no, so The Rock moving forward with Hobbs and Shaw, that was what kind of pissed the Tyrese off for The Rock too.
That pushed Tyrese onto Vin Diesel's side because he was like, they're both brothers. I love and respect both of them. Shit like that. And then next thing you know, I'm doing Hobbs and Shaw first. He was like,
oh, like kind of rushed into it after we kind of had a deal that you wouldn't yet.
Mm-hmm. He was like,
Gotcha,
I think you
gotcha.
should reconsider this. He was like, no, Hobbs and Shaw first. And it was like, you know what? Fuck you too. You know what I'm saying? But
Gotcha.
now, since The Rock has been labeled a movie series killer or franchise killer, he literally did exactly what he said he wasn't gonna do. He went straight back to Fast soon as Black Adam tanked terribly. And yeah, Black Adam lost $100 million, bro.
Yeah. No, like so that all goes back, like I love like the behind the scenes of what goes on in movies, and that one was like a studio wide thing instead of just a Vin Diesel being a problem thing.
Yeah, because his sister was a producer, right?
No, but they had approached Dwayne The Rock Johnson to do Black Adam like a decade ago.
Oh, I thought you said never mind. Keep going.
They had approached him to do that a long time ago, and he had said yeah. But the thing is, like, he can't just say yeah. He had to have his production studio being the ones that was making it. Have you? He did a movie that released during the pandemic with Gal Gadot and Ryan Reynolds called Red Notice.
Yeah, on Netflix.
That is produced by Dwayne Johnson. That's his own production studio that did that. So Black Adam was also done by that same studio, and that's the thing. Like, they offered it to him 10 years ago. They didn't get it done until years later, and Dwayne Johnson was very meticulous on what he wanted to do. Like, because if you know the comics, Black Adam is a villain to Shazam. The Shazam movies are more geared towards kids, like they're a little more lighthearted. Yeah. And Black Adam, the way that he was played by Dwayne Johnson, was a very serious, like intimidating character, a force,
Anti-hero.
Yeah. So Dwayne Johnson had said Shazam is not going to be the main villain. Like, what's going to be the big payoff is when Black Adam fights Superman. And so that was a whole deal. Like he wanted to kind of direct the whole direction of the MCU if he was going to be a part of it. And for the most part, DC was like, yeah, that sounds good. So far as in bringing the actor Henry Cavill that played Superman to come back and film that cameo in Black Adam.
Done with,
Henry Cavill was told that, okay, that's it, we're not going to come back. So it was actually Dwayne Johnson that was like, nope, I want Henry Cavill back. He is Superman. So they all think that this is going to go forward, and then the studio problem happens where Warner Brothers and DC end up doing a merger with Discovery. So like that's why HBO Max and Discovery joined, and they're now Max, the streaming channel now. So when that happened, it was pretty much a reset. It's like, okay, any plans we had for the DC cinematic universe, we admit that we had no idea what we were doing. Like there was no branching, overarching storyline like Kevin Feige and Marvel, but we want that. So that's when they hired James Gunn. He directed Peacemaker and all the 2 of the Guardian of the Galaxy movies.
Yeah.
He had been once fired from Disney and Marvel because of he had some
pedophile tweets.
Yeah, he had joked on some tweets that were taken in the wrong way. He was fired, and then when that happened, DC took the chance and we want you direct Suicide Squad 2.
Mm-hmm.
And then when that merger happened, they picked James Gunn to be the guy that is going to be like Kevin Feige, the director of all of these movies that interweaves all these stories together. So when that happened, any plans that Dwayne Johnson had for the future, gone. So that's why like people are like, oh, like even Dwayne Johnson, who is we inject to save franchises, he is not, powerful enough to stop something like this.
Right.
So that's why he's kind of taken a couple hits lately, because it's not working like it was before.
But I heard his studio isn't like the best studio right now, because it's still like a baby studio. They still not like trying to learn.
Very small.
Yeah,
very, very small.
He should let them like shadow. I don't want to say shadow, but do like a joint studio thing where they just work together, and he still can have the title of my studio did this. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's ego at this point. Shit.
That's what I keep hearing. It's hella ego. But yeah, he brought his ass back though.
Yeah, because it's not just movies. It's energy drinks. It's deals with Under Armour for workout equipment.
Yep.
It's like he's got to be the best at so many different things, and then when you get pushback on a couple of them, it's like, oh, like like I can't label myself as the best if I'm not the best.
Yeah. And it's okay to still call yourself the best, but understand to take the back seat sometime, or the passenger seat.
Yeah, he ain't a good leader if he can't take a step back and watch somebody else take over for one, so that could catapult him to the future.
You feel me?
Yeah.
But yeah, so Fast 10 Part 2 is gonna be mainly about
Part 2.
The Rock. Fast 10 Part 2 is gonna be mainly about The Rock.
That's 11.
It's really gonna be Part 2 though.
That's 11.
I didn't even know that they broke it up into parts.
3 parts, and it's gonna end with that.
Oh my god.
Yeah. So
if they don't drop that shit off on Netflix.
So initially it was supposed to be 11 or 12 to call it a day, but I guess they just stretched out this one, because can you really imagine if you got 3 more movies with 3 different baddies? Like at this point, you're intergalactical now. Every bad person is supposed to know you, or you're supposed to at least took down all the fractions of everybody by this point. So really, they just stretching out one bad person between 3 movies.
And it's gonna be the finale.
Thanos pulls up in a Hellcat.
And bro, the bad guy is literally from Part 5.
Oh, really?
When they had the move-in safe,
okay,
and they killed that president dude, shot him. So one of the drivers, so we had that scrawnier guy that was at the receding hairline and a little goatee that was driving the president around all crazy. The dude in the other car was the Aquaman. It never showed him at all. At no point. It really just squeezed him in there through some editing and made it seem like he was there the whole time.
But Jason Momoa.
Yeah, Jason Momoa. I didn't want to say his name wrong. But yeah, so he was the car that got knocked off the bridge. And he is literally, to me, a Joker. His whole attitude is the Joker. Just over the top. I stab you, I lick the knife. Oh, yes, let's go have drinks with dead people. And shit, like, he literally acts like a Joker.
Oh, like an anarchist Joker? Kind of?
Yeah.
Like Dark Knight Joker?
What's the one where it's more of animated Joker?
Oh, like, okay. Silly.
Breaking bones, yeah, with crowbars and here's the punchline, pow, type stuff.
Gotcha,
you know what I'm saying? Gotcha. He acts like that, literally to the T. He is good though. When he is on scene, it's really nice. But they still doing superpower jump from this car to that car, doing 120 miles an hour, catching each other with cars. getting out of cars, catching mid-air, lancing another car. They still doing that stuff. When it should be broken bones and everything in between.
Man, dog, these
Yeah.
cars. When I seen the trailer when he drove from one skyscraper to the next, I was like, yeah, I'm done. When he bust out the window and went to that other skyscraper.
In Dubai with the three ones, it is one
Yeah.
of the world's lightest cars and one of the world's fastest cars. I oddly believe it.
But he just miraculously like it's that all right.
Did he hit a
Realistically,
pole?
yes, you
Yeah,
hitting the mid level. You ain't just cleanly just laying into another floor.
Yeah,
That
it
and
landed
I mean it could be light, but them floors is not able to withstand 20,000 pounds coming straight down
Yeah, you're right.
in a direction like this. Like, okay.
Mhm. That's why you gotta turn this off. You gotta turn it off.
I can't, dog. This no.
What you saw as science and physics, I saw as, hey, that's sweet as fuck. I'm not gonna lie. Whoever thought of
Yeah,
that,
you
it
got to
is
go there drunk. That's how you got to do it. You got to go there drunk as hell.
No, I can see it being just like a good popcorn movie, but like to me, like it's so unrealistic to the point where I'm like, it's not my thing.
See that, like, if they would have just came out and said, "All right, we know where we started from, but this, all right," like Saints Row. Remember how it started off like
That
street
went
gang,
over the
all
top.
super serious, and then you go to 3, and then you got aliens coming out the sky, dude, president. Like,
Yeah.
if they would have just laughed at themselves, like, "Yeah, we know where you came from, but this is where we at right now," I'd have understood it. But then they kept trying to be serious, but I don't know.
Who kept trying to be serious?
Them, the fast franchise.
Yeah.
They never came out and just said, "All right, fuck." I mean, I don't know if we can cuss, but forget how we started. This is what we is now. I probably would have came along with it.
It is in a dialogue. Listen to Tyrese and Ludacris bantering back and forth. Tyrese keeps saying, how do we, he said, bro, we're super spies. Y'all not seeing this? How did we become
the fourth
agents?
wall breaking, yeah.
Yeah, how did we become this? And it's 20 people with AKs shooting at me. Look at this. I got bullet holes in me and I ain't touched. Nothing touched my skin. He literally said this. So he was like, bro, I'm starting to think we got like superpowers. And they laughed at him and shut him down. Because he literally stated everything. How does cars go through this building and do this? And no one got a broken arm, a cut. He said the most we had was a bust lip. And I was like, you're right.
Well, you watched all of them, so I give you that. All right. Well, I guess they tried.
Yeah. 9, he was saying it all through 9 though, but 9 was tearing my brain. Even though it was off, it was tearing it apart. I was like, ain't no fucking way, bro.
Like, if we was kids, it'd be like, oh my god, but
Yeah,
we grew up with the franchise. That's what messed it up. Like, if we would have came in at 6 and then just went back like how Star Wars, Star Wars came in fucked up, starting from the last and then we started over. But if we would have started at 5 and grew up from that, then it'd be like, oh, that's our expectation.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. We started off from original shit, like realistic ish stuff. So that's the part where it's kind of messing me up.
Where what's his name? Vinny got shot with the shotgun through the car door, and he had to call the air helicopter to pick him up. Bro, they get shot now and nobody get touched. Magically. You feel me?
Yeah, people coming back to life. Shit, that's the point.
Yeah.
That was a big deal.
Are y'all going to watch it? Are y'all going to watch it?
No.
I doubt it.
Guess who's back now?
Hold on. Don't tell me.
Is it the Mexican girl?
Yes.
Vin Diesel X?
She been back.
There's another one?
Right. That's the only one I know.
Han's girlfriend. Wonder Woman.
Oh, Gal Gadot. She's Israeli.
Israeli?
Yeah.
That's not Wonder Woman?
No, that's Wonder Woman, but she's Israeli.
Oh, you said Mexican. I don't know what she was. But yes, she's back.
How did she die? Or supposedly died?
She was on a fucking helicopter ride, hanging out the back of it and let go so Han can live.
Was that's in Tokyo? Nah. Which one was that in?
How'd she
like
survive?
6. That's what I'm saying.
I ain't watched 6.
There was at least like 500 feet in the sky, bro. She literally was like, Han, keep living without me. Let herself go. Flew.
The fashion.
Bro, you know where she lives.
Hey, she doesn't need some water, bro. That's what.
There's no water nearby. This is a air.
She landed in somebody's pool.
You have a parachute or anything?
No, she had a fucking cami and some cargo pants and some military boots. There was no other clothes. She didn't have a gun in her hand. This
Hold
is
on.
the one.
So was there like a scene where she just walks in and they're like, "Oh, it's you"?
The fucking no, you know they didn't pull that again with Han. They did the motherfucking the military nuke submarine that was in 8.
Okay.
Oh, you don't know it then. So when the rock, like one of the ones when the rock came in and they shot that submarine missile on top of the ice and he got out the car and led it to the bad guys and blew them up.
Okay. Yeah, I am vaguely familiar with that scene.
That one, that submarine, they mentioned it a few times. Where's the submarine at? It's missing. It's missing. It popped up out of the damn Arctic Ocean,
And she's standing on it.
and Cypher, the bad guy, with Letty, Dom's girlfriend, that just fought, team up together to save each other lives type shit. Because Mimosa tried to kill Cypher now. She got some binoculars. And that was, oh my God, movie end.
I thought you were waving to somebody.
That's literally it, bro. She did that. I did the whole scene.
Oh wait, okay. So it was like a quick reveal and then credits roll.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. So
She was a post-credit scene.
yeah. So I won't be upset at that. Well, I mean, I can be, but I won't be upset at that until the next movie. They just cut to them like having breakfast together. It's like, oh, you're not gonna explain all that, like,
Yeah.
if they don't explain it, that's when I'd be upset.
Hey, knowing them motherfuckers probably said she a clone, and
Man,
that's
they didn't even
probably what it's gonna
explain-
be.
Probably, because now Cypher showed me some motherfucking technology when they was in that black site. It's like a machine with lasers that just sew you up. You could have your arm missing. You'll put it close enough, it'll sew it up, and like with a laser beam, zzz, boom, is your arm is working perfectly now.
Yeah,
It's not how that works, but
Yeah,
right. Because you
know
got
where they got
all
that
the
from.
nerves and all that shit.
They got that
I mean,
through Hobbs and Shaw. Remember how everything was like Mission Impossible with the voices and it was cyberpunk, really, with all the little attachments they was putting on Idris Elba.
I gotta give the Fast franchise credit because with the exception of Mission Impossible, you have Transformers, you have G.I. Joe, you have a lot of these other franchises that have basically tried doing the same kind of formula and they just fall apart. Like they don't like Transformers was cool for a couple movies and then I don't care about Bumblebee. I don't care about this new one coming out.
Yeah, they keep making Bumblebee the main person.
I never cared about any of the G.I. Joe movies, but
wait, how many G.I. Joes is it? Is it technically 3 or just really just 2?
I thought it was 2 or 3. I can't remember.
Because I know Snake Eyes, they did this movie.
Yeah,
but they switched his story up so bad.
That'd be 3 then.
Okay. But yeah, it was terrible after The Rock came in. Because I was ready for Johnny Tatum and some more Marlon Wayans to do some parts. And they died literally like the first three minutes of the movie.
Yeah, that was the last one I seen.
Yeah, I was like, that's fucking terrible.
It was back on Netflix not too long ago.
Yeah, so what streaming services do y'all got right now? So I can know what to watch these good movies on.
I got Netflix and Disney Plus.
Okay,
but I can watch any movie on the way I can watch movies.
Oh yeah, I got you. Don't incriminate yourself, sir.
Yeah.
I have all of them except for like Paramount Plus, so I have Hulu, I have Netflix, I have Max, I have Amazon Prime, all the big ones.
The Citadel is a good show.
I've heard otherwise.
I like it. I like it. What have you experienced for yourself?
I go by critics because, well, I'll take that back. If I have someone that I know watches, I can trust their opinion, I'll watch it.
Did you watch
But
Lookism? That was a good one.
which one?
Lookism
Lookism?
on Netflix. Oh, Netflix.
No. I honestly haven't watched much of Netflix, to be honest. I've been watching HBO lately,
So you
but
watch Shazam too?
I've not.
Mm.
That one is more like a, why am I going to get invested in this when I know it's not going to go anywhere? Because Shazam is not going to be a part of the DC movies going forward. It's pretty much a set thing.
Oh,
You
watch the
are a
Power
movie
franchise
person.
then.
Yeah, no, I wasn't you a movie person. You a critic. You went to school for this shit. I can tell. Who says that? I don't see you being in the main storyline, so why bother? Still a good movie. Well,
Well,
it's
no,
not a good
I mean,
movie.
like I keep track of like the business side of it, and like that was literally discussions going around. It was they basically told Shazam, okay, your fate is in your hands. If you take a dog shit on opening weekend, then chances are you're not going to be brought back. If you make $1 billion in your 3-month run, okay, yeah, you're definitely going to be brought back. You're going to be a character that people want to see.
Mm,
But it's a money talks kind of thing.
mm. So,
I,
are you anticipating the Flash movie since they did a lot of restarts in the DCU? Because I keep hearing that shit is amazing.
I'm conflicted. I also have heard that the movie's going to be really good, but Ezra Miller is a very complicated actor. Like, are you guys familiar with Jonathan Majors? Like the little kind of
yeah.
drama he's
Yeah, the
going
one
with
that
right
keep
now.
beating on girls and shit like that. And
Well,
I know.
Ezra Miller is similar
that's what I'm saying.
in
He beat on a clerk or some shit, right?
Jonathan Majors.
No, Flash. He hit like a clerk at a grocery store or some shit.
Yeah, Ezra Miller for a short while he could not stop throwing bar stools at women. So
Yep.
he had numerous assault charges, like a kidnapping charge at one point.
Damn.
Like he was going through a lot of shit. But the Flash movie was already made. This is going back to the whole, the merger with Discovery and Warner Brothers. So this movie was made. They were wanting to release it, but they couldn't because the star of the movie was beating women left and right.
Mm,
like
that's tough.
That's funny
yeah.
to you.
So you have this movie that you've spent hundreds of millions of dollars on, and it's not releasable.
Mm-hmm.
So they did what any reasonable studio would do. It's you wait until no one cares anymore, and they're going to release it anyway. I want to see it because I do like Michael Keaton is coming back. I
Is
do
this the one
like
that's
that.
coming out in June or next month?
Yes. Yes.
I believe so, yeah. So you have Michael Keaton coming back. You have Ben Affleck in his final Batman performance because he's done with it. He doesn't want to do it anymore.
Mm-hmm.
It follows one of my favorite comic book storylines in the Flashpoint Paradox. So I want to see it. But the actor in it makes me not want to see it. Flip side, with everything going on for Marvel moving forward, Jonathan Majors is a pivotal part of that. Jonathan Majors is also going through similar accusations, as yet to be proven or disproven, with his girlfriend of him hitting her, So Marvel is also kind of having their own kind of internal discussions right now because it was just announced or revealed that Jonathan Majors wasn't meant to be a big figure in those movies going forward. But after they saw 2 of his performances on a Loki TV show and Ant-Man movie,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I seen
after
that.
those, they were like, oh, let's rewrite it.
Yeah.
5 and 6, Jonathan Majors is going to be the big bad. He
Mm-hmm.
is so good. Did they jump the gun on that? Because now he's also having his own kind of drama right now. So both studios are kind of in a weird, similar spot right now where the big thing for them going forward, the big actor,
Yeah.
they love hitting women.
I got a question though. I mean, it might be stupid though, but so for the Flash movie, you said the movie was already made. How
Yeah.
far back was already made before they retouched it up so it could be relevant to today, if that makes sense?
Well, so what will happen is the main bones and storyline will be done. Now, before release, up to maybe like a month or two, they could do something called reshoots. And what that is, oh, we watched the movie, we screened it a couple times, and fans were wondering how come this happened because it kind of contradicts some of the writing. They'll bring the actors involved in a scene or the entire movie, get them back into makeup, get them back in front of a green screen, and say, hey, say this line because it fills up a plot hole that we overlooked in production.
Literally.
All right, that makes sense.
So they could reshoot for literally 2 months before release, quickly edit it back in, and it'll be fitting. But for the most part, the movie is done and dusted,
Now, I'm not gonna lie. I didn't know they edit that close to release date.
Yeah,
I
they
thought
can.
shit
Like,
was done almost a year in advance, and they just do final editings like graphic wise.
VFX stuff. Yeah. That stuff does take a long time, but like simple dialogue scenes of like two characters talking, it doesn't take long to reshoot it. And
or they could have a stunt double and they had a camera behind them talking. It's not even them.
yeah.
Okay.
Like, did you guys ever watch Blade Trinity?
Yes. I
Yeah.
did.
I love the Blade movies, but Wesley Snipes was terrible on set. He hated everybody. He wouldn't talk to the director in that movie. So for 90% of that movie, if there's a scene where Wesley Snipes' back of his head is showing, that's not Wesley Snipes. That is the stunt double, because Wesley Snipes would not want to be on camera unless his face was on it. You know?
What?
Yeah. And if there was scenes, like Ryan Reynolds is in that movie. So there's a couple scenes of them in the car together, like just doing banter back and forth. Ryan Reynolds is great at banter. Wesley Snipes did not like Ryan Reynolds at all. So what would happen is Wesley Snipes would sit in there and he would just grunt. He would just, he wouldn't say anything.
Petty.
So you literally had Ryan Reynolds going off on the script, like just, doing great banter, and Wesley Snipes would not react to it because he didn't want to be in the truck at the same time. They shot it separately, edited it to make it look like they were together. So
they said he I don't know how true it is, but they said he just got so big headed into believing he was just literally, I am Blade. And I am this superhero. I am this powerful man, that he thought he was better than everybody. That's what I heard.
He would smoke weed in his trailer all day. Patton Oswalt was also in the movie, and he talks about it a lot. But there's a scene where like Blade is on a gurney, like he's kind of like on an operating table kind of thing. And they told him like, okay, Wesley, open your eyes.
Oh,
Open your eyes. He would not open his eyes. So they had to do really bad CGI of open eyes over his eyes.
Because he was that fucking petty.
Yeah, he did not want to work with anybody on that movie. But contractually obligated, so he showed up and did the least.
That's tough.
The least is opening your fucking eyes, but they like.
Could you imagine being paid millions and like can't open your damn eyelids?
Fuck you!
I know they was. That's probably why the writing was so terrible for the third one. They were just ready for that shit to be over. They just said, "Fuck it."
There's a better finesse story. And have you guys ever seen Apocalypse Now?
I don't think I did.
I'm in my film history bag. So it's based in Vietnam. It's old Vietnam War movie.
Okay.
And it has Marlon Brando in it. Marlon Brando was in Godfather. He was the Godfather.
Okay,
Okay. So Marlon Brando is great, terrific actor, but this is Marlon Brando who is aged. Kind of, like any current actor now that's gotten up there, like a Robert De Niro. Sometimes they're taking questionable roles just to get money, right? Like
Bruce Willis.
Yeah. They're just doing shit to pay for their summer home.
Literally.
So, I believe it was Francis Ford Coppola. I think he directed Apocalypse Now. I could be wrong, but the director got Marlon Brando, and he's like, "Oh, I'm kind of nervous. I wonder what Marlon Brando I'm getting. If it's old school Marlon Brando, we're fucking set. Like we have, an old stallion working on all cylinders. Like this could be great. But if it's bad Marlon Brando, this could be a problem, So they fly him to set, and then he meets Marlon Brando for the first time, and he's like, "Hey, I really love the script. I want to go over some of the stuff in my trailer. I've been doing a lot of backstory. I've been doing about like what my character did before this, is kind of his motivations. Like I want to talk to you about it." He's like, "Yeah, no problem." And the guy's like, holy shit, we got old school Marlon Brando. Like, he is going to give it his all, right? So he meets with Marlon Brando in his trailer, and they talk for hours and hours and hours, right? He leaves, and he's like so locked in. Like, he's like, oh my God, like, we just had like a 12-hour conversation about this. Like, he is in. Like, we got him, like diamond in the rough, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So the next day, he's like, all right, we're ready. Are you ready to go, Marlon? I know we talked about it for a long time. Yeah. There's a couple more things I wanted to talk to you about my character. You know, I feel like we haven't really fine tuned it yet. You know, mind you, for an actor of this caliber, you wouldn't, and he's not in the whole movie, so you would only bring him down for like a month to film his scenes, and that was it. You know, maybe a couple weeks if it was a small part.
Mm-hmm.
So they're talking to this trailer for another day, right? And it's like, okay, yeah, he's really into it. He's really into it. Next day happens. Marlon Brando. I feel like we can get more out of this if you just talk to me in my trailer. He was trying to delay until the time he got on camera because he knew every day he was out there, they were paying him a check. They were paying him a check. They were paying him a check. And then finally they had to film his scenes in like a week or 10 days. Like they really had to condense his filming time because he was trying to milk them for everything they had.
Mm. That's tough.
He did that though. You know what? You need to direct a movie, man. Let's do a movie, man.
Yeah, I mean, as a director, you'd be like fucking stoked. You're like, oh, this dude he's put that much thought and time into this. Like, this is gonna be good, you know.
He probably read that shit once and was like, yeah, fuck that.
Yeah, he's like, I could do this shit in my sleep. Just threw the script away. Like,
damn, that's tough.
But yeah, it was really. If you ever see Apocalypse Now, it was amazing performance by Marlon Brando. He does really good in it.
Wait,
yeah,
so he did do good.
He did.
Oh, okay.
But for the amount of time that he was trying to get from it, he could have done it in half the time. You know, like he didn't need to be paid for all those days. You know?
They were stressed the fuck out too.
Oh yeah.
Man, we can't cut him out.
They need him.
Yeah, that gotta be tough being the director for real.
Because it's not like, oh, let me go hire some old part timers to go fill this position.
Hell no.
You need who you need.
Yeah, that star power, their name hold a lot of weight, especially if you got a big fan base already.
Big facts.
Yeah, you definitely get ego. Like, again, like The Rock, you know. Like you will have these guys that are like, okay, I can't be the villain in any of the stuff that I'm in, you know.
Yeah.
And then you have other guys like I think Danny Trejo. He always plays like a mobster.
Mm-hmm.
And like his stipulation is if I'm playing like a bad guy, a villain, a mobster, I have to die. You know? So like he wants to send a message with his though. Like if you see me as a villainous role, I'm gonna die because being bad is bad. You know?
Yeah. He used to be like that. He used to be a gangster though.
Yeah.
I love that shit. That's a good story. A little comeback story. Prison, all that shit. Then now he movies. And he be having some pretty decent, you know, what I want to call it, B-rate secondary films.
I mean, you could say like B movies.
Yeah, B movies. Yeah.
Man, so Netflix movie, movies on Netflix, are they pretty much all B list? I mean, I know they got some blockbuster, quote unquote.
I mean, Netflix puts money forward for people to produce movies, and then they just take the publication rights. So, like your big movie studios, like Paramount, 20th Century, you know, Warner Brothers, those are production studios where they make and produce the movies, and they're also publishing studios. So not only do they make the movie, they're the ones that go to the theater and will sell them the movie, you know. And then you have the smaller guys, which are they're either one or the other, you know, because it's expensive to do both, right? So you'll have like that's what you have festival season. Like you have like Cannes Film Festival just happened.
I want to go one of them so fucking bad, bro.
Yeah. But in those ones, you literally have small, you typically indie films, small production studios will make the movie, and they'll take it to a festival, and the festival is kind of used as them advertising it to these publishers, like, hey, like if you really liked how that movie turned out, if you liked our 9-minute applause, you like, we are willing to talk business so that you can have the rights to publish it, and pay us for making it,
Yeah.
So Netflix started out as just a publisher for the most part. Like, they never made anything when they started out. They were just putting stuff that was already out there and kind of like presenting it to you. But they've gotten so big to the point where Netflix Studios, they make and produce their own stuff. So it's
they got some good shows and movies.
Yeah, it's not B tier. Like, they definitely have. And the thing is, like, it all comes down to, are you willing to let your creatives create, And for a lot of people, Netflix, they give us the freedom to pretty much do whatever we want, So we're gonna let our movie go on there, right?
Because it was some movies that Netflix dropped out like literally in 2022 that I remember. I saw trailers for in like 2018, 2019, but it never dropped. But then I guess they must have picked it up type stuff and then brought it out as a Netflix original.
Yeah, it used to be a diss when you say, "Yeah, this movie going straight to Netflix."
Yeah.
You see a movie flop on the movie. What was it? Scream 6. That shit going straight to Netflix.
Damn.
But
did y'all see it?
Paramount. I did.
I heard some things.
Well, basically straight to TV. That's what I meant to say. But the pandemic kind of jump started all that though.
Yeah.
What does heard some things mean from you?
Heard some things?
Yeah.
In that context, I've heard some critic reviews about it. I've heard reactions from people that went and saw it like opening day, and they're like, "Oh, it was not good."
Yeah, I turn my brain off on every movie I watch though.
It's not. Yeah, I can tell. It sounds like it.
That sounds like a disappointment.
That's what he did. He called me dumb as shit.
No.
Hey, this 40-minute conversation, man. Oh, you said, hey, I can tell.
That's your soundbite right there.
You should start the trailer. Start the trailer with that.
No, hold on. Like that, I meant that as a compliment, because when you start taking like film classes, and this is not to sound pretentious at all. Like I do love like just silly stuff from time to time, stuff that I don't have to take as serious. But when you know how the sausage is made, you can't watch it without thinking about the process in your mind. Like when you start like analyzing like how movies are made and a lot of the stuff that goes on in the background, you can't take your mind off of that. You're thinking, oh, that's a good canted shot. Oh, I like that zoom that they used on there. I wonder how they got that effect, like, because you know how it was made, you know how they did it. And now you're also thinking of, if you know how to edit, you're also thinking like, oh, that was a good editing choice. Like, I like how they cut directly on the beat, of the song, so you think about it super analytical. Like, it's hard for you to shut it off, when
you're a professional versus a novice, basically.
Yeah. See, so like, I give you that, because I look at lighting. When I see certain lights, I say, I know what kind of light they use. That color go well with that color. I should take a picture that use those same type of lights. I don't know how to edit at all. I'm gonna be honest with you. You feel me? So I do watch movies and look at the editing's cuts and angles that they take, but I'm not in that field to say it was a good one. I look at everything as good because mine's is shit. You know what I'm saying? But I look at lighting like that all day long. Every damn movie, every picture, I look at the choice of lighting and I judge it with the tone of the film and shit like that. And if I can just copy it over,
replicate it, yeah. No. I mean, like, and that's where you start. Like, when you start filming stuff, I swear to God, I ripped off an episode of True Detective and almost did shot for shot, because I'm like, man, that stuff was like, that had me gassed up when I was watching it. Like, and then you try doing it and you're just like, oh yeah. And then everyone's like, what the fuck is this? Like, they didn't see the same stuff that you saw.
Exactly. You was emotionally attached to it.
But like, going back to Scream 6, from what I heard, it was a good premise, having a serial killer in the Big Apple. That's a really cool idea. but I heard it wasn't executed enough. Like to other people, it was like, from the guy that I saw that watched it, he said it was okay, you know. And I feel like with that idea, you could have written something really good.
I mean, it was a easy watch. It was just some stuff like the plot. You was like, oh yeah, that's like, when you watch so much stuff, you can tell who's the villain. But
Fact.
it's
Yeah,
like
you
when
know,
it's paralysis by analysis. Like you already know stuff before it
yeah,
happens because you
you
watch
know
so
what, you know
much.
what's gonna happen. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So it's kind of like one of those like you got to turn your mind off just to enjoy it.
Hmm. And
Like the
I can do it quite well.
it's a dude I watch on YouTube.